everybody, and welcome to Learn How to Drive on NASCAR Heat 5. Here we are on the Indy Road Course. We're going to turn some laps here, see if we can't cut some really fast times here. I will put a disclaimer on this video. This is going to be simply how to get the fastest lap, which frankly infers a lot of cheating and cutting corners. Not the way how I typically race. In any league that I do, we actually do put a stipulation on this track saying to not cut corners, but that's not the fastest lap. So this will be all about the fastest lap and how to get there, and I'll leave it up to you to determine the legitimacy of these laps. But here we are. I will go ahead and start the tutorial here in the middle of turns 1 and 2 of the oval, which is coming onto the oval track from the infield section. I'll get into the braking zone here as we come back on here, but for the turn in, I am looking right down here. I want to actually be almost more on the inside, late apex this corner, put my right side tires over the grass as I'm coming through here. Next thing I'm looking for is out my left side window. I'm looking for that berm, the edge, the apex of that next left-hand corner. I'll change views every so often here so you guys can see different braking zones for from different points of view. That way you can kind of pick for yourself on how you want to, depending on the view that you use when you're racing. I prefer the in-car camera myself. So coming here, I hit the brakes and then let off and roll. Allow the left side tires to just touch here and let the car kind of do what it wants to do as you come out of this corner. And while I'm on track, I'll be in second gear when I'm racing, is the shortest gear that we go to. So coming through here, I will be shifting to third gear, and I want to try to keep it to the inside. This is basically the safest way through this corner. So when I shift into third, I'm rolling back into the throttle. I'm not mashing the throttle, I'm rolling back into the throttle to keep it nice and tidy here on the inside, almost to where I'm worried I'm going to hit this wall on the inside edge as I'm coming through here. That is also the easiest transition when you're going from the oval track banking onto essentially the pit exit banking of the oval track. So it's a great way to not upset the chassis too much and just make it easier to come off this corner. It can be fast on the outside as well, but has a better chance of throwing the car sideways and hitting that outside wall. So here we are over the start finish line. Heading off towards turn 1. From the in-car camera here, I am looking towards that inside catch fence. Right about here. As soon as the left side window brace goes past the catch fence, or right at the catch fence, that is my braking point. That is where I start the threshold brake, meaning it takes about half a second to 3/4 of a second for me to get on full brake. That way the weight transfers nice and evenly going to the front tires as you go through it, and it is actually the best way to brake, not just jamming on it. So you can see here for other camera views, either just past this tunnel that goes underneath the track right next to this grandstand, or I don't know what else you might want to pick here. If you're on this view, you can use like the green flag right before the American flag on the outside is another point of reference. Oh, here we go, pit exit. That yellow line for pit exit is right there, so you can kind of use that as your marker as well. So go back to my view. And as I'm coming in here, this is the first corner where you get to really cut. So you'll guide the car in here, and you'll actually let off the brake right about here. As soon as you're letting off the brake, the front end will really want to turn in, and you put the right side tires just on the grass. If you put all 4 tires in the grass, that's usually a good way to get a penalty. But you keep the left side tires on the pavement, and you can usually get away with it. That is corner cutting number 1. Now coming through here, turn 2, I usually try to climb this berm a little bit, whether I get over it completely on the other side or not, just kind of depends on how I came through turn 1. But this right-hander here, you want to keep those right side tires right on that white line, because this berm really upsets the chassis when you get over it. In the setup I use, I stick it in turn gear 2, going through and hit the rev limiter, and I can usually let off, let the car kind of roll through on its own, maybe just touch the brake if the nose is starting to slide out, just enough to kind of plant the nose. And now, again, being that this is the cheating lap, I actually let the car come out on this one. almost where I touch this left side berm, or maybe at half a car width off of the left side berm coming out of here. Because here's the second place you can gain a lot of time by cutting the corner. Drop your left side tires here, and now I'm going to pretty much do a straight line right over here. Your left side tires need to be able to touch this berm here on that left side. If you're too far over, if all 4 tires are in the concrete or on the pavement, that is usually for sure a way to get the penalty. So going down the backstretch here, and go under the bridge before I start looking for my next braking zone. And I'm keeping my eye to the right here for this motor coach. Right here. As soon as this motor coach is kind of framed in between the Earnhardt bar and the left side window brace, that is my braking point. Again, threshold braking. If you don't know how to do it, look it up, learn it. It's a valuable tool on the road courses, and especially like other places like Phoenix or Martinsville where you use a lot of brake. New Hampshire is another good one. So as soon as I pass this break in the wall here now, break in the guardrail, I actually start to guide the car toward the inside. This is the third and final corner you can cut. Just kind of keeping that left side berm. I mean, it's flat out cutting the corner. It almost looks like it's meant to do it, but it's definitely cheating. But coming here, let off the brake, let it roll through here. Usually try to touch the berm or even get the left side tires just to touch over it. I found that if you get your left side tires on the grass here, it is a penalty. If you keep them on the berm, you're in the clear. So, coming through here. Next pretty critical or important thing is this right-hand corner. You just gotta be careful coming through it. It is extremely bumpy, so if you are either on full throttle or on the brake or have too much wheel input, it'll really upset the car. So you want to be as straight as possible when you go over it, as not to upset the chassis. Coming through here, you lay to apex this left-hander to set yourself up for the right-hander, and let the car drift out on this section. I found I used to try to keep it really nice and tight to the inside, try to kind of shorten the track a little bit, really lay to apex that last corner, but I found it actually really kills momentum as you're coming onto this fast section right here. So let it really come out here, get the left side tires just on this berm out here as you come back onto the oval. Right side tires on that berm. Now my braking point here is more of a timing thing than a visual, but basically as soon as I get all left tires, or all 4 tires, onto this left section of the pavement where you can kind of see the seam where it goes from a lighter pavement to a darker pavement, pretty much as soon as I get all 4 tires solidly on it for about half a second, I am straight line braking coming through here. And if you hit it right, you can get the car pitched and pointed towards that inside edge, just like we were talking about before, where now I can come down here, later apex, mid-late apex this corner, maybe come out a little bit, driving towards here, and then now I'm looking for that inside edge out of my left side window. There it is. Hit the brakes, and then now let's try a flying lap. See if we can't get one of those cool minute 19 lap times, which is my fastest lap, minute 19.519, which at this moment is in the top 10 fastest of all time at the time of this recording. So we'll see what happens here. Honestly, I could foresee in the future just with how much it lets you cut the course now to get these lap times that the algorithm for it could change. So maybe at some point this video will be obsolete because of just how ridiculous it is you're able to cut the corners. I mean, watch this. I mean, if that's not cheating, I don't know what it is. And again, looking for that motor coach right here on the brake. And as soon as I get off the throttle, you see that nose bite. So I really wanted to make it kind of excessive there. You saw as soon as I got off the brake, that nose just wanted to dive towards the inside of the corner. Keep it nice and free here. Right side tires on this berm, this inside one. Left side tires getting out of the dark pavement. Yeah, brakes now. Okay. Again, that was a little bit excessive there, but again, I just wanted to show you what the car does if you get off the brakes too quick and how it can really set that nose. Gotta keep it nice and tight in And if you can cross the line going 160 miles an hour, that's normally the start of a pretty good lap. So now I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of radio silence here and see if we can't bust out a mid-minute 19 here over the next few laps.
right there touching that berm.
Excellent. Good job.
Teammate. Let's see if we got one more lap of fuel on this here and see if we can't
You're almost out
improve
of
on that
gas.
time a little bit.
Getting low on gas. Low on gas. You're running on fumes out here. You're low on fuel, bud. That was a great lap.
That was a pretty good lap. All right. Well, thank you once again for watching the tutorial on how to drive NASCAR Heat 5 Indianapolis Road Course Edition. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, keep an eye out here. I'll go ahead and be posting. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I was going to show you the setup. Almost forgot. So, yeah, some pretty quick laps there. 19.8, 19.6. All top 10 lap times at the time of this recording. So I have this as my qualifying setup. Feel free to take your screenshots here. You'll see I use a little more traditional setup when it comes to camber. I know some of the other fast guys do even a positive camber thing. I can just never get it figured out. But this really works for my driving style, really does well for tire preservation and all that good stuff here. If you want to have a little bit of an easier drive, you can drop this second gear down. I know it doesn't seem like much, but on some of the tighter corners, like those last left, right, lefts, that last right, left, right section, sorry, before you take that long right-hander to get back onto the oval, having a lower second gear allows you to be on the throttle for a little bit more. It doesn't pull you off the corner as much, so it is a little bit slower by about 2/10 or so, 2 or 3/10, but it does make it a lot easier to drive just by dropping this down to like a 175 or a 170. Everything else is pretty well the same. Feel free to take a look. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section. Please subscribe so you can see when I post new content, both for NASCAR Heat 5 and some of the other racing games that I play. And who knows, maybe even something else will creep up on here just for fun, for like Soul Calibur or Horizon, or just something not racing related, but still gaming, still fun. So, but anyway, thank you once again for watching. I am the Crazy M80, signing out.